Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jessica if you are new here. I'm feeling like very mellow this morning, in a good way, but very mellow. I've got some coffee, I hope you do too if you enjoy coffee. If you don't, what? Today I figured we would just do a chill, get ready with me, coffee chat. I asked you guys on my YouTube community tab, on my YouTube stories, Instagram, what topics you wanted me to discuss, what questions you had, etc. So I've got a few flagged that I definitely want to talk about, address, etc. So I'm not going to talk a ton about the makeup I'm using, but I will have it down below and on the screen while I'm using it so you know what I'm using. Starting with the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm in Pear. I have a few of these. I've loved these for over a year now. They're just so, like, it's an everyday lip balm that you can use and it looks glossy and like you've actually done something with your lips, but it's really just a balm. You know what I mean? It's like the perfect product for me. Truly, madly, deeply. So I had an overwhelming amount of questions about how I am doing, you know. Honestly, I'm doing fine. And I have to remember to check my privilege because I know we had a family Zoom last night and, you know, all of my family is dealing with this so differently. I'm one of 6 siblings. I always have to think about it. I think I'm going to wear this shade. I've got these Revlon Candid glows I really haven't tried. And I think I'm going to do 110. It looks a little bit pinker. See that? Whereas 120 is a little bit more yellow. I don't think I've tried this. I've had these. I'm sure they were sent in PR because I wouldn't have bought 2 shades. And, you know, all of us have very different careers, very different lives. Some of my siblings homeschool their kids. Like, you know, I don't mean what everyone's doing right now. I mean like they like actually homeschool them. And so a lot of it is kind of business as usual, but then like the spouse is working from home. But like one of my siblings owns a business and right now it's hard. You know, she's got employees she wants to be able to pay and she can't. And it's heartbreaking to watch her talk about, really. Anyway, so long story short, we all have our own things we're dealing with this. And I have to remind myself that, you know, even though emotionally this can be weird and hard, I'm doing okay. And so I think that's helped me a lot and it definitely makes me want to help out any way I can. But the thing that I was telling my sister and we were all kind of talking about is it sounds really obvious, but it's really important to remember that this new normal is not really our new normal. This is not forever. In fact, whenever this is over, as things start to slowly get back to normal, yeah, we will be different and things will be different. But we'll be able to leave the house again and go to the store and go to the movies and concerts and, you know, and so I'm trying to remind her, like, this is not forever. This is so temporary and it's going to seem like the blink of an eye. But that's easy for me to say as someone that right now hasn't been personally affected by the virus when it comes to like sickness and like people I love suffering from it or anything like that. So I feel like everyone's going through their own thing and I'm doing okay. Really, I am. And I feel like as humans, we adapt, whether that's mentally, emotionally, we'll figure it out. And like my sister, she's got all of us as a support system here to help her out. And I hope that if you are struggling through this in any way, that you have some kind of a support system. I don't know. It's so tricky to talk about. It really is, you guys, because I feel like anything I say or anything anyone says, like whether it could just be someone you know on Facebook, anything anyone says about it or any way that they're suffering, someone gets upset because they're suffering more in a different way. So this Revlon Candid Glow, it's got a little bit of coverage. I don't hate it. I don't know that I love it yet, but this is literally, as far as I remember, my first time using it. So popping in to say, also, this is supposed to be a glowy product. It doesn't look glowy at all, like at all. It's not bad. I liked it with the sponge. I can tell that would be a product I would not like to apply with the brush. It would be kind of streaky. Yeah, I do not, like if you've got stuff to cover, like my nose is crazy. This is like not even making a dent. I was asked what we're making for dinner, like dinner ideas. We certainly share that in our weekly vlogs. And like I've said a million times, those are over on Tyler's channel. I try to post it in my community tab when he posts them on the weekends. So you guys will hopefully see it in your subscription feed if you are interested. But if you don't want to miss it, subscribe to his channel. We're going to try to keep those bad boys going for as long as we can. But so we'll share dinners on there. But I actually, this past week and a half, have been filming weeknight dinner ideas. So I've got 3 favorites like that are old standbys. They're easy. Most of the ingredients you most likely already have at home. And they're 3 of our favorites. I'm excited about that video. That'll be up this week. And yeah, I think I'm filming the last meal tonight actually. But I like to cook. I enjoy cooking. So it's been fun sharing some of my personal favorite recipes with y'all, you know? I feel like I need lunch ideas. Like I don't, like unless I'm eating leftovers, I'm like, what do I eat? Like, what do I do? I don't know how to deal with lunch. Like, how is this so new to me? I don't know. This is a good question. And actually, I've been asked this for years. Why don't you, what? Do Project Pan videos? I do like shop my stash, but Project Pan videos specifically. Honestly, I actually watch Project Pan videos a lot. And so I like the idea of it. I enjoy watching it. I have YouTubers I follow that are Project Panners and I watch their Project Pan updates, etc. So it's nothing against that because obviously I get it. I get that world and I enjoy it. Me personally, I feel like if I did it to myself, I would feel kind of trapped in what I should be using each day. And for me, the fun of makeup is trying new stuff and using stuff I love. And so if I'm already loving it, I'm probably going to use it until it's gone. Like this is perfect timing. This Bobbi Brown Corrector, nearly gone. I'm buying yet another one because I just love it. And I did have some questions about this versus the Charlotte Tilbury Corrector I'll put on the screen there. I have decided I used this the other day and then I used the Charlotte Tilbury one the next day and I've kind of been going back and forth. The Charlotte Tilbury one is really nice, and I really like it. I mean, I will continue using it. But the reason I'm buying another one of these is this is slightly better. I feel like it looks slightly more hydrating on the eye. You'll notice when I applied it, I didn't really go beyond here. It really just cancels out all of that purple really, really well. They have different shades depending on your skin tone. But back to Project Panning. If I'm already loving something enough, I'm probably going to hit pan and use it up anyway. And I don't want to force myself to use up things that I feel okay about or whatever. I don't know. The reality is there are a million arguments against what I'm saying because I could just say, well, Jessica, why don't you just put things you love in your Project Pan? But then it's like, well, why do I even need to do that? Long story short, I would feel trapped if I did that, and I feel like it would take away some of the spontaneity I feel and the fun I have with makeup. And so that's why I've never personally done it, even though I do actually enjoy that kind of content. I definitely do shop my stashes plenty. I mean, like a lot. But Project Pan is just never something. Who's to say maybe one day in the future I will do it. But as of right now, I'm just not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? This is such a good question. If anything, what have you learned about yourself during this time of quarantine? I have learned a very big thing about myself. And I think I already knew it, but this proved it. And I wonder if most of us feel the same. I have learned that I do not take time to just chill. And the thing that proved it to me was, you know, I'm still working during the week, obviously, Monday through Friday. And so Tyler and I are switching off with Genevieve. You know, he'll work for half the day and I'll work for half the day. And that's the way we're having to do it right now because obviously we don't have help with her, as none of us do, you know. So when the weekend rolls around, I am constantly like looking for things to do around the house. I'm like, okay, I need to be busy. Anytime like Genevieve is napping, I'm like, oh, this is time I can get stuff done. And I've just realized recently, I'm like, wait, when am I doing stuff that's fun? Like, yeah, it's quarantine and we can't leave, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, I never just like sit down and just watch YouTube videos. I'm always doing something while watching them. And that's a source of enjoyment for me in my life. I never just sit down, like probably the closest I come is taking a bath. You know what I mean? And that's still, you know, not all of the time, obviously. And so I just feel like I have got to learn how to not be productive. I have to learn how because I'm going to drive myself insane feeling like I can't just sit and watch This Is Us unless I'm also folding laundry or doing dishes. It's such a messed up thing and I don't know if it is an American thing, if it is maybe it's worldwide. What is it about us that we just feel like we absolutely have to? The world of productivity is funny because there's so many videos on productivity. I enjoy those videos. You know what I'm saying? I like watching them. I like learning how to be more productive and stuff. I could see myself, I've done videos kind of on the topic and I like productivity, but I also now am learning I have got to have a line and I have to be okay with just sitting there and vegging and just relaxing or just sitting in the backyard and not having my phone checking my emails, just sitting there and relaxing and enjoying the moment. And it's so sad that it's taking something like this for me to realize that about myself. But in the weirdest way, I'm grateful that I have realized that. So I use the Naked Honey palette. I, honest to goodness, forgot I had this. I remember liking it. I like the Urban Decay shadow formula. Have you guys felt the same way, that same kind of pressure that even when you're not working or whatever, you're finding it hard to actually veg and chill? I can't do it. I literally, even at night when Tyler and I, like once Genevieve's asleep and we're watching TV, we'll like be eating something, or like we're like, well, let's play a game while we watch. Like we both struggle with just turning it off and just chilling. Okay, we get it, Jess. My under eyes are so baggy right now. I got 8 hours of sleep last night, but when I woke up, I was just like, I am just so tired, you know? I think I'm gonna go in with HBIC. I feel like right now is a good time. You know, everyone's always talking about, you know, oh, this is the time to learn a new language and blah, blah, blah. Like, not necessarily. Like, this could also just be a time, a gift of enjoy your family more, you know, FaceTime with friends that I feel like, honestly, I'm talking to my friends more than I did before. It's kind of funny, you know? It's almost like the opposite of what I would have guessed, but I feel like I'm texting with them more, certainly Zooming. We never Zoomed with them before. I don't know how this look is going to go with my red top today, but oh well. I can always change my top. Be powdered, but I kind of want to put like some concealer here because I feel like I need some help with those bags. I've gotten a lot of questions about my press-on nails. So I can link the exact pack I bought, but I used the glue that came with it and I literally just painted them. They were just ones that were unpainted. Now you can buy ones that are already designed. I have one I might try next that are, you know, it's like color. But instead of like, I know some of them come with the like adhesive that just kind of presses on. I've never used that kind. I just like the glue because it does stay on, but you can kind of pop it off. I know it's probably not good for your nails. Is any of this good for your nails? No. Literally day one of them popped off. Like I was changing the trash bag or something. And so the nice thing is I just glued it right back on. Like it was so easy. And so it really hasn't been bad. Throughout the week, I probably had them pop off like 4 times. So it is what it is. But I like the plain ones because I could actually use my nail polish because I've been getting dipped powder nails for a year now. I really hadn't used them other than when I'm painting my toenails. And so it was kind of fun to get like, this is the color Essie Bikini Sotini. And it's one of my favorites. It's been one of my favorites for years. I think I've repurchased it. It's just such a pretty like periwinkle blue color. Oh. And so it was exciting to use that. It's so easy to paint them because they're like, the nails are so prominent that it is the easiest paint job I've ever done on my nails. And it stays on really well. It dries really fast. And so when I wanted to change the color, I literally just used nail polish remover and removed the color and repainted. I know someone had commented and said, don't do that because, but I don't remember. It worked just fine for me. So I don't know. Totally recommend right now if you're used to having your nails done like that or you just want to try something different. I'm going to try to tackle a really tricky subject. I might upset some people. I don't know. But I have a few people questioning, like, you know, speak on the topic of influencers still pushing products, even though so many people are out of work. One thing I want to say in defense of influencers, and that term is so gross. Like, I really don't like it. I know a lot of people don't. I don't either. It's got such a negative connotation to it, in my opinion. But I get what content creators, etc. Okay. One thing to keep in mind is that you're the consumer. I'm a consumer. I can watch a video about, and I've watched a lot of, you know, product recommendation type videos in the past week, but I'm not running and buying those because me as a consumer, I know, I don't need them. If you're gonna watch it and you can't afford it, don't buy it. You are in control. I mean, none of us are forcing you. So I'm defending my group of friends here. None of us are forcing you to buy this stuff. Now, at the end of the day, I totally understand that mentality. Like, okay, if I'm out of work and I'm pinching pennies and I'm not even sure how I'm going to pay for this next bill, etc., I would just watch different content. That's why a lot of us are trying to do different content. We're trying to do Shop My Stash videos. But the problem, even with Shop My Stash videos, this is a realization I had the other day while running, even though those are not products we just bought, they're not new to us, they still are products that maybe you don't have. So we might still, without meaning to, be pressuring you to buy more makeup. So even within the Shop My Stash world, I love it. I do them. I watch them. But keeping in mind that even though, they're not new to us, they still could be new to you. And so you're still going to feel that same pressure as if we were doing a trying new makeup type try on haul video. Be realistic with yourself. None of us are forcing you to buy it. And if you feel that kind of pressure and you don't feel like you can control it, then don't watch those kinds of videos. Watch other videos. This is a great time to discover new video styles that you might like if you have never watched vlogs. So a shameless plug that we do them, but there are literally millions of people that do vlogs that are great on the internet. And so you know, maybe if you've never tried that, you might get into that because then you won't feel that pressure of buying stuff, but you'll still be watching YouTube videos you might enjoy. Thinking outside of the box for yourself, if you really are feeling that way and feeling kind of resentful towards influencers or content creators, then maybe find a new type of video to watch for a while to get your mind off of that kind of thing. So I know I'm not trying to take the blame off of us as content creators because yes, we do have some blame. Frankly, we have blame all of the time because our job is weird. And that's part of why I wanted to kind of pivot and do more lifestyle because I don't want you guys to feel that you have to buy every new release. I don't want to feel that way. Now that I'm accepting less PR, I'm buying most of my makeup. I'd say 95% of the makeup I'm using with my own money on my own. And I love that because it's really opened my eyes to see like how much pressure is out there to buy all of the new foundations and all of the new palettes. And there is a lot of pressure. I watch a lot of YouTube too, and I feel it too. But like I said, we have to be adults about it and know that, you know, take a minute from it. I just dipped my finger in the gel. Oh, liner. Oh, I just got it in my hair. Jessica, get it together. I got the meanest comment about my under eyes the other day, and now I'm so self-conscious about it. And I'm like, thank you. I'm a mom and I don't get as much sleep as I would like. And also we're all dealing with this. Like that is like the meanest thing. I'm like, yes, thank you. I am aging like a normal human. Thank you for pointing it out. Obviously it bothered me and got to me. But they were like, you need to use more concealers. You need to, and I was like, honestly, if I put any more concealer on most of the time, it looks way worse in person. And it's funny. I've tried it all. I've tried not powdering. I've tried high coverage concealers, lesser coverage concealers. I've tried it all. And I go back and forth. My toddler's laughing because Tyler, my husband, sneezed. She thinks sneezing is the funniest thing in the world, which the joke is on her because obviously farting is way funnier. I hope I didn't rub anyone the wrong way. I'm not trying to take the blame off of us because you're right. I agree. And that's why a lot of us have been doing different content and trying different things because I see that, I feel that. And so I don't want you guys to feel that way. And just keeping in mind that especially with what's going on right now, this is new to us too. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to navigate this. I was just talking to my like contact at YouTube about this, and I was like, you know, views are slightly down. Money is definitely down because of advertisers. And we were kind of talking about it. And of course, that's true that less advertisers are paying to put advertising spots on YouTube because of what's going on, depending on the company. Some of them, it makes more sense for them to because maybe they're online retail and people can actually, anyway. Long story short, across the board, it's down. And so I'm like, well, how can I pivot and adjust my content to make sure that you guys are still enjoying it and you don't feel that negative kind of pressure? So I'm working on it, you guys. We're all treading new water, all of us. You, me, Dupree. I've really been enjoying this. Is the Kabrow that I tried in the Hillary Duff video. If you haven't seen it, I can link it up above. I discovered so many awesome products that she was using. But this, I'm sure I tried, you know, long ago, but I've realized I'm really enjoying this versus the Anastasia right now because it's just slightly waxier and a little less creamy. And it kind of, for me, makes it easier to work with. So I have really been enjoying it. This is a great question. She said, you seem to have a good relationship with your in-laws. How? Depends on who your in-laws are, you know? Everyone is so different. One thing I think about a lot with my in-laws is that, you know, one day I'm going to have my kid or kids, whatever, grow up and perhaps they'll get married or have a partner, spouse. And I can only imagine how it feels. This is going to make me emotional. I can only imagine how it feels to have someone that you love grow up and leave you. You know what I mean? It's almost like a really, gosh, what is wrong with me? It's almost like a really sad breakup because, yeah, obviously she's still his mom and we see them and hang out with them, but that would be hard to let go of someone that you've raised for that many years. Ugh. Okay, Jessica, calm down. But, you know, looking at things like that changes things. I think a lot of people lose sight of that or don't think about that. And I think it really changes your perspective with how you treat in-laws, that, you know, you're not related to them by blood, but they do become family. And the more years go by, it would be very hard. It will be very hard. And I can only imagine how that was for, you know, them, for my parents too. And so I think I keep that in the back of my mind all of the time. Like, of course I'm going to treat them with love. And I do love them. I genuinely do. But yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing. So let's move on to happier stuff. Sorry, I didn't talk through it, but I just used the powder foundation, this It Cosmetics, just to kind of even things out again. So I've gotten a lot of questions about Gigi, and it's funny, I was so worried about her, like how many words she was saying, that I was like starting to look it up, and I had unsubscribed, if you will, from any of those like daily milestones like for toddlers and babies and stuff. I'm like, no way. Like, it was getting me so in my head, and I think I like when she was 8 months old, I was like, I'm done reading these. They just mess me up mentally. I'd be like, well, why isn't she doing this yet? And I'm like, this is insane. She was on track. She was fine. So I recently looked up, like, well, how many words should she be saying? And of course, it was like, she should be saying like 10 million words. I'm like, what? She's only saying this many. And so I literally am like, oh man, like, I'm sure she's fine. I'm trying to talk myself down, you know. And literally within a week of like looking that up and thinking, well, is she saying enough words? She's saying words like left and right. She just had this explosion. And so that's what's so funny about any of those kinds of things you look up. I'm like, I hate those, because you really do, as a parent, get in your head. So, by the way, the MAC Glow Play Blush that every YouTuber under the sun recommends, I bought So Natural. It's all messed up because it like fell out the day I got this. And so, anyway, this is freaking gorgeous. I just used like a stipple brush. Elf makes a good one. This is a Morphe one. You literally just press it on, and it is like the prettiest color if you are near my skin tone. Oh my gosh, I love it. Now I'm thinking about getting more. Like, this is honestly, I think even easier to apply than the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur blushes that I love. Like this is even easier, and it's kind of creamy, but ends up more powdery, but it doesn't look powdery on the skin. This is an incredible product, you guys. But she's doing fine. She's just wanting to be outside more, which is good because we all need to get out of the house. And it's been awesome spending more time with her, because she really is at a fun age where she's not really throwing tantrums or anything yet. I'm going to assume that is to come. She had started to show signs of that, but she kind of like dropped off. So we'll see if she I'm sure she will throw tantrums. She's a toddler. Come on. I threw tantrums as a kid. Oh, I could compete with the best of them. Anyway, but right now she's just at a fun, playful discovery age, and it's so cute, and all she wants to do is spend time with us. And, you know, that can be frustrating at times because, like, you know, I'm like, oh, I just want to get this last thing done. But also keeping in the back of my mind, like, Jessica, you are never getting this time back with her. Like, she will never be this age again. That's going to make me emotional all over again. She's still picky with what she eats. By the way, I had someone ask, I made in our last weekly vlog this bean sauce pasta that tasted kind of cheesy, and it was pretty darn healthy. No, she didn't like it. I was like, of course. So now we've got it in our fridge. I'm just going to eat it because, frankly, it was pretty good. But nope, of course not. She like saw right through it. She's like, wait, this isn't my normal mac and cheese. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm still trying to be better about continuing to offer her vegetables even though she refuses to eat them. I'm just going to keep offering them to her, you know? But she'll drink some of our green smoothies. Like this morning, we had green smoothies. I'm still working through mine. And we'll put some in a little cup for her, and she gobbles it up. Because, I mean, it's like a fruit smoothie, but we have spinach in it too and all that stuff. And yogurt, and she loves them. So I'm like, well, if we're doing that a couple times a week, it's good for us. It's great for her. And at least she's getting some leafy greens in there, you know. And she'll still eat like the little packets that have like mixtures of food in them. And I'm like, I'm not letting go of those bad boys anytime soon because they have veggies in them and fruit. And so, I mean, that girl could eat fruit every meal for the rest of her life if she had her way, I am sure. But yeah, I love those because that's about the only other way she's getting veggies in. And I used to stress about it, and I'm finally at a point where I'm like, you know what, Jessica? I didn't eat veggies as a kid, and I'm okay, and I like vegetables now. So I'm just trying to take it with a grain of salt, keep trying, but not feel like I'm failing as a parent because she's not eating what I see other kids eat. You know, Tyler and I are doing okay with this quarantine thing, though. I've had a lot of questions about how is our relationship doing. We try to, we've kept a lot of things business as usual. You know, we always eat dinner together, duh. And we'll watch a show or a couple shows or a movie or something. And we've kept doing that. And now we're trying to sprinkle in like playing Monopoly or playing cards and stuff like that too, just to give us something else to do. But it also is nice to have time away from each other. Like last night I Zoomed with my family and he went down to the basement and worked on like planting his garden some more. But I think having a little time away from each other is good too. And we don't typically do that. It's pretty rare that we're not just, once like work is done, we're just like together. And so I think it's good for us to have that. And like I've been going on runs and oh my gosh, I had so many questions about running. Tyler is out pushing Gigi in her little like car stroller thing. I can hear it coming down the lane. Anyway, I had so many questions about running. I think I'm gonna do a video about this because I have learned so much about myself and about running. I went from running like walking 1 mile like a year and a half ago to now, like I just ran a 6-mile run the other day. No problem. Like no problem. I can't even believe that is coming out of my mouth, you guys. I started running like in college, just kind of off and on. And then especially when I was teaching and stuff. But once I got pregnant, things happened. I'm not diving into that. Things happened and I was told to not exercise. And so I gained more weight than I'd expected to, etc. And I got way out of obviously my running habit. And so it has been really hard to get into it. But even when I was running before, I was running like a max of 3 miles. I cannot believe I'm running 5 and 6 mile things like a couple times a week. I have a lot of tips on that. And I'm telling you, you can too. I know that you're probably listening to it and rolling your eyes like, yeah, sure. I'm telling you, I never thought I'd be that person. I would watch like my brother who's like in the military and he would like be home from the military on leave and he's like, I'm going to do a quick 6 miles. I'm like, what do you mean a quick? That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Like I have a lot of tips on that. I will do a video. Maybe I'll do it sooner rather than later. I was going to do it later. Maybe I'll do it sooner because I know a lot of people are thinking about running because you're like, well, what else am I doing? You know what I mean? I can't go to the gym or I can't. You know what? If anything, it has given me such a mental break from everything that's going on. And when I get like, just last week, I didn't run for like 4 or 5 days and I was in the habit of running every other day. And I felt it in my bones. I felt like crummier and like I just felt like I was more tired all the time. And when I'm in the running mode, even if you're just running twice a week, your body is thanking you. Like you can just feel it. And so, I don't know. It has become something that I'm now doing for my own health and not because I want to look good. And that mindset change has been revolutionary for me. And that's when suddenly I was able to add on more and more and more. I'm not doing it to lose weight. Am I losing weight because of it? Absolutely. But I'm not doing this to lose weight. I'm doing it because I know I feel better and I want to live a long time. And again, I'll do a whole video on this because there's certain things my actual doctor said that is what kind of flipped the switch, and I'll dive into that there. So stay tuned. Maybe I'll even do that this week. I love this lip color. It's MAC Patisserie. And you guys know I'm not a big MAC lipstick fan. Like I don't love all of the formulas, but there's something about this one that the color is just right and it's just so pretty. Anyway, I had so much fun doing this. I do them about once a month. I do have a playlist of all of my recent Coffee Chat Get Ready With Me's. I've done a few more recently because I did some live, not Get Ready With Me's, but just like coffee chat. So I can put the playlist up in the eye and down below if you want to binge watch them. We'll talk about different topics in those. But I love you guys. Thank you for watching my videos and continuing to watch them and support my channel. I hope you're doing okay. But I hope you subscribe if you did enjoy this video. It helps you find my videos more easily. And of course, it helps me here on YouTube as well. In the meantime, I'll see you on my social media. It is at It's Jessica Braun everywhere. I'd love to say hi to you there. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.